Alright everybody, welcome back. It's time for the next deck, and this is going to be a bit of a weird one. So I started with like a Mega Sharpedo deck, Bones, and then I swapped out the Carvana and Sharpedo for Scraggy and Scrafty. So of course the deck is around Mega Scrafty, which kind of occupies a weird place because its ability is decent, counterattacking Crest if this Pokemon's in the active spot, damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon. Even if this Pokemon is knocked out, place 5 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So if they hit into you, they're going to take some damage. Its attack is Outlaw Leg. It only does 160 damage, but it discards a random card from your opponent's hand, and you also get to discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So this is definitely kind of a hybrid disruption and mill. You know, it doesn't do as much damage as Mega Absol. That Claw of Darkness does 200, and you get to pick the card out of the hand that you're discarding. This one only does 160. It's a random card from your opponent's hand, but then you do also get the top card of your opponent's deck. So 160 is not a lot, and so to kind of boost that, there's a couple of things in here. We have the Binding Mochi. Attacks used by the poison Pokemon this card is attached to do 40 more damage. So in order to get that damage, we also have the Pecharunt EX, the Subjugating Chains. Once during your turn, you may switch one of your benched Dark Pokemon, except any Pecharunt EX, with your active Pokemon. If you do, the new active Pokemon is poisoned. So this gives you some mobility, it gives you that poison, and then with the Binding Mochi, now you're hitting 200 and then doing the random discard from the top, or random discard from the hand, discard the top, and then if they hit you, they're taking damage as well. So something else that I kind of thought of and wanted to try in here is the non-Mega Scrafty. So the Ruffian's attack for 2 Darkness Energy, flip a coin for each Dark Pokemon you have in play. This attack does 60 damage for each heads. So if you have this in the active, plus 5 Dark on the bench, now that's a potential 360, and if you put the Binding Mochi on this guy, it's a potential 400. But that's a coin flip for each one. So you kind of have to flip, you know, at least 3 to 4 heads in order to be hitting anything substantial, because 3 is only 180, 4 is 240, and then if you do the Binding Mochi on top of that, 4 heads is 280, 5 heads is 320, 340, so it can add up to a lot. But because of the coin flipping, I've also decided to go with the Area 0 Underdepths, because then you can have up to 8 on your bench, and then 8 times 60 is much better. That's potential of 480 if everyone on the bench is Darkness, but there's not really a good basic Dark Terra. So I kind of put in the Terapagos as, you know, kind of the main one that you want to get out, because that Unified Beatdown also does really good, 30 damage times each Pokemon on your bench. So if you've got a full bench with the Terra and the Area 0, can do a good amount. And then kind of a weird inclusion in here, but would be helpful against like Kangaskhan and other colorless Pokemon that are weak to fighting, is the Hoopa EX. So this is a Terra Pokemon, but it is fighting. So, but he takes Dark Energy. So Dark Energy for the Energy Crush, the Bandit Fist, and if they have fighting weakness, then this guy can really help you out. And that's really the only reason he's here, as well as now activating the Area 0. So that's kind of the core strategy there, but also to facilitate, we've got the Toxtricity with the Sinister Surge ability. Once during your turn, you may use this ability, search your deck for a basic Dark Energy card and attach it to one of your benched Dark Pokemon. And then if you do that, you put 2 damage counters on them. So this helps you get your energy, especially considering Mega Scrafty needs 3 to attack. And then with Munkidori, you move that damage over. They get hit by the counterattacking Crest. And now that 160 is doing more like, you boost it with the Binding Mochi, that's 200. You Munkidori over 20, that's 220, and then they take damage from a hitting you, that's 270. So all of these little things kind of adding up to get all that together. And then as far as trainers go, we got Buddy Poffin to get things going. your nest ball if you need to search out your basic Terra Pokemon to get the Area 0 going. You've got a couple of Ultra Balls in order to search out anything you need at the cost of discarding 2 cards from your hand. And I also added in 1 copy of Gravity Mountain because since everything in here is basic or stage 1, you know, we were talking about kind of hitting that 270 mark or potentially more, especially if they hit into you and you move over with, you know, multiple monkeys. Now you're able to bring down the stage 2s to a range where you can potentially knock them out, or make it even easier for your Scrafty, your non-Mega Scrafty, to do the knocking out. And yeah, so it's kind of a weird list, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if I can make it work, and we'll see how it goes.